right, kids. How's everybody? Everybody all right? Everybody doing great? Grand bueno? It's bueno. It's Friday. It's Friday. Embrace it. Love it. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? We have some updates on the committee of the whole meeting last night. It is entertaining. It's entertaining. How's everybody doing? My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Center. Welcome to the program. We are now on YouTube Live. Check it out. You can go to Sunrise Santa Rosa with Nick Stewart -- the Milton Post and look for our little Sunrise logo, and you can watch it live there. We'd like you to be here on Facebook. You can comment from the YouTube. We catch your comments as well, so it's okay. It's bueno that way as well. All right, good to have you with us today. Again, my name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. The telephone number to call is 850-771-0049. Once my assistant brings my phone. I was pressed for time this morning. It's been crazy. Lots of stuff going on, and so it just sometimes gets away as we're putting stuff together. Good to have you with us today. Your forecast, rain early, then remaining cloudy with showers in the afternoon, high near 64. Chance of rain 100%. Rainfall near 1/4 of an inch. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low near 52. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies and a high near 67. Presently, it's 64 in Milton, 64 in Pensacola, 64 Gulf Breeze, 62 Navarre. And we head off now. Good to have you with us. Good morning, everybody. All right, sassy Mama Cat. Look, watching it from YouTube. All right, bueno. Okay, so good morning, Carol. Carol's also watching from YouTube. Hey, Cassandra, I'm glad you made it out last night. We're going to talk about the committee of the whole. and so it got, I had the video, but the little clip was too large. So I can't play it. I can't upload it and play it for you about what happened last night. Let me try it again. I'm going to see if I can't get that thing up. Yeah, it's too big. No, that's the whole thing. Where is the, let me see if I can find the clip I did. Oh, I know where it's at. So it got a little take it outside kind of a moment. So it came up about the, again, the Mardi Gras parade. Let it go. Let it go. The Mardi Gras parade is going to happen, right? In spite of what people think that they know best. Now, it was just a conversation. I understand. But from the video, you can't tell that from the video. All right. So I do have that here. So let me play this for you because it's pretty, I'm glad everything worked out all right. Okay. But you have to admit, this is entertaining. All right. So here you go.
9 Waterview Drive. I just have a comment regarding Mr. Jordan's question to Councilwoman Rice, if she would, if you could expect that she would bring this up again at another meeting if it failed tonight. And I took it as a little bit of a dig because of the prior conversation about, or the comments made regarding a city council who had already voted and moved something forward and it now being brought back up. And I just want to make the point that you are seated now as a committee. This is where your conversations happen. You do not have a full council here tonight. So it's not the same thing, and I would absolutely support, no matter what happens here today, that if anyone didn't get their motion approved, that it should come up again, especially when you don't have a full council seated to vote. That's how it works, and the difference is the other vote was made by the city council. You're here as a committee. Thank you.
So she made a very good point. Very clear, very concise.
Input. I just want to clarify what I said before. If you're passionate about something, it's hard to get you to be
muttering going on.
So,
Be quiet.
ma'am, could we?
Don't talk to me.
Ma'am, can we?
She the one saying stuff.
So Madeline is going off on Cassandra. Just don't talk to me. She's muttering, but don't talk to me.
Can we limit the interaction? If y'all have something y'all need to talk about, please take it outside,
We
please.
can do that.
You want to?
We appreciate it, guys.
Whoa.
I'm game.
We're just going to.
Take it outside. Let's do that. You want to?
I'm game.
No, wait.
Anybody-
So she throws her arms out. I'm game. Now, Jeff did not mean it that way. He meant take your conversation outside of the room because it was disruptive. So she throws her arms out. I'm ready to throw down. I'm ready to throw down. Yeah.
We'll have this taken care of
Now.
elsewhere.
They called him
All
back.
right.
Gotta go do the stopping it. So, so that happened last night. What? Wild stuff. It is kind of, while it is disruptive, and people go like, "Oh, I hate it when stuff like that happens." It does make it entertaining. It does make it entertaining, and nothing happened. Only in Milton, and it was just conversation. I know, I understand. But you see, from the viewer's point, it was like, I want the camera to go outside. I don't care about what's happening here now. I want to follow this outside. 850-771-0049. It was funny. Oh my goodness. Let's do it. I'm game. Nice. I also want to say that we want to thank the crew of Airship Pirates. They donated and installed a new dishwasher for the Ronald McDonald House. Do I have a picture? I got a picture, I think. Here it is. They bought a new dishwasher and had it installed for Ronald McDonald House. And we appreciate those guys doing that and all that thought that goes into that. So congratulations to them and God bless you. All right. And I know some people are against that. Why? I don't know. But it's a good thing. So, Cassandra said she didn't think I'd accept her challenge. Oh, I had no doubt. I had no doubt, Cassandra. She evidently doesn't know you like some of us. Pensacola City Council unanimously voted Thursday to move forward with a gun buyback program. For the love of God. Residents will be able to sell guns to the police with no questions asked for money or a gift card. Pensacola City Council voted 7-0 supporting Councilmember Delarian Wiggins' call for the gun buyback initiative. I've been in law enforcement for 15 years. I've seen a lot of gun violence, said Wiggins. Wiggins thinks getting guns off the street will reduce crime in the city. How about this? Why don't you get criminals off the street? Get criminals off the street. Don't get the criminals off the street and the guns aren't a problem. That's what you do. That's how you handle things. You don't pay them to turn in their guns. You take the criminals off the street. I'm not in law enforcement, but I know that. I think this is the dumbest thing, and for everybody to go along with it shows how limited they are mentally. I really doubt their mental capacity. Their lack of being able to form a cohesive thought. Gun buyback program. It does not work. You can't show me any place where it's worked. Does it take guns in? Yeah, people turn in guns all day long. Does it stop gun violence? No, it does not. Yeah, it's not going to. How about allowing open carry? I'm good with that. I think that'd be a much better idea. But gun buyback programs do not work. How about some common sense from the city council? How about it? Anybody? A little common sense from the Pensacola City Council. Why don't you, I tell you what, why don't you here's one. Why don't you give incentive for the police to get the criminals off the street? Do that instead of paying people $50 in a gift card or cash. Whose money are these? Who do you think, Sharon? Whose money do you think? Mercy. Stupidity. Another Pensacola resident is dealing with the frustrations of a 5G cell tower being installed right about 6 feet, 10 feet from her home. Pole went up in September. It's just feet away from her front door. Now, I don't know. The 5G thing is going to be interesting. 5G is going to be interesting. It's going to cause a lot of problems with these. They don't have to check with anybody. They just stick them up wherever they want. Cameron says, I'm going to show up and outbid the police. Hey, listen, $75 for a gun is a good deal. That's a good deal. I'll give you $75 for a handgun, $100 for a long rifle. A long gun. Yeah. I think that would be an excellent idea. I'll double what they're paying if anybody wants. Okay. So now we hear $100. 150. That's still a good deal for a gun. If you want to outbid Carol, $150 for a gun is still a good deal. So I suppose it's be 125 for a rifle. Is that what it is, Carol? Local government can't buy back a gun they never owned in the first place. It's true. They'll have to raise taxes so they can buy the guns back. A criminal is not going to turn in his gun and turn in the gun he stole. Now, listen, let me say this. I think that is an incorrect. I think that a criminal will turn in a gun that's been used in a crime. Wouldn't that be? Because there's no questions asked. Would you not turn in a gun? Get it out of I've been worried about getting rid of this gun. This is a perfect opportunity to get rid of a gun. Send your baby mama out to turn in the gun. Wipe off the prints. Say, hey, turn this in, get $50. Right? We can buy some weed. It wouldn't that be nice? But it won't be because it'll never happen. Gun buyback programs. Most of the guns would be broken. I can't believe so much stupidity comes to a town the size of Pensacola. FDOT says its contractors are increasing all efforts to repair the Pensacola Bay Bridge by March 2021, which means they don't see that happening. They're not feeling it. They're not feeling it. An additional piling driving crew has been added to ensure pile driving efforts remain on schedule. The crews are tasked with moving the pile driving template, working on pier removal, clearing the bottom of the bay from any debris, and driving piles into the bay floor, utilizing a 20,000-pound diesel-powered hammer. Pile driving work will occur 7 days a week. So that shows you right now, if they're adding this in there, they don't have faith that it's going to happen in March. And that drive is murder. The drive without the 3 Mile Bridge is murder. There's a wreck every night because people are stupid. Last night, I saw a guy flying up on my right side on the grass to get past traffic. I don't know where he was going, but he was flying. That's how wrecks happen. But that was what should have been a 20-minute drive, 30-minute drive, turned out to be an hour and 15 minutes. Or more like an hour and a half. It was great. Felt great. Get the bridge fixed. Just saying. Recall Florida is a nonpartisan political organization formed in April with a mission to enable Florida's 67 counties to recall elected county officials through the amendment of Florida state statutes. So far, the group has 2,000 members. It should be way more than that. Currently, only 20 charter counties in Florida have the ability to recall an elected county official. Santa Rosa County, a non-charter government, is not one of them. According to the Florida Association of Counties, the basic difference between a charter and non-charter counties are that the charter counties operate under a charter approved by county residents, allowing the local government to self-govern as long as their laws don't violate the state law. On the other hand, non-charter companies operate under Florida Constitution and state statuses that can only self-govern as prescribed by the existing state laws. We believe all 67 counties should have the same right to recall. That's according to Chance John Meyer, Santa Rosa County citizen who founded the group. Now, very good question, Sharon. How do you join? You go to Recall Florida on Facebook. It'll give you all the information you need. Listen, they should be able to, they should have way more people than 2,000. Way more. When people take back their government, it makes a difference. When they have control. Anthony Sabatini is trying again to turn off red light traffic cameras with the bill he's filed in the Florida House for the legislative session starts in March. Sabatini of Howey in the Hills is sponsoring the measure. Again, the calls for repeal of the Mark Wendell Traffic Safety Program. It's a 2010 law named after the man killed by a motorist who ran a red light. And it authorized the use of cameras throughout the state. It's not about altering bad behavior. It's that it punishes working class people with $158 tickets for taking a red light and failing to stop or just barely crossing the line when a camera is at an intersection. Here's why it doesn't pass. You want to know why it's not passing in the state? Because local governments could see a drop in revenue of about $75 million a year if the measure is ultimately approved. $75 million. That's how much money they make off those red lights. It's not about stopping accidents. It's not about saving lives. It's about the money. $75 million a year. Red light cameras. Florida Department of Health has a brand new COVID-19 vaccine locator site. The new site will allow Floridians to find vaccine sites by county or by city and contains contact information on each location. Florida Department of Health announced Thursday that only residents will be allowed to get the COVID-19 vaccine in Florida. Decision comes after a recent uproar on vaccine tourism, where out-of-state residents were traveling to Florida to get the COVID-19 vaccine. So they've got here's where you find it, a locator so you can get the vaccine. And now that DeSantis said you don't need to provide proof of residence, people are coming in from out of the state, so they've stopped that. I'm tired of the COVID nonsense. But we've got more stuff on it. Matt Gaetz. Let me find the picture of Matt Baby. Here he is. Hours before Wednesday's presidential inauguration, Matt Gaetz sent social media aflutter by trolling toward the 2022 election cycle. Responding to a Sun Sentinel report that his name was being tossed around as a potential Republican primary challenger to Marco Rubio, Gaetz tweeted that only statewide Florida office he'd consider seeking would be the Agriculture Commissioner. I have no interest in running against Marco for the state Senate, or for the U.S. Senate. In 2022, the only statewide position I would consider running for in the current political climate is Commissioner of Agriculture, but things can change. Not the Senate thing, though. Now, statewide. Does that mean that, and they were leaning towards the Agriculture Commissioner. What about higher? What about higher aspirations? What about president, vice president? I don't know. Where does Matt's aspirations? He does have higher aspirations, I'm sure. He's a young man. He's popular. He's on TV almost every night. And I don't fault him for that. I think that's a good thing. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing him run with Trump. We'll see what happens. 850-771-0049. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Reports of shabby treatment of National Guard troops at the U.S. Capitol were sparking bipartisan outrage among lawmakers and other officials on Thursday, with Texas Governor Greg Abbott calling for the return home of the state's Guard members. Here's the picture of this. You've got to see this. This is where they were. Now, keep this in mind. Yes, that's a parking garage. That's a parking garage. They deployed Texas and many other states deployed to the U.S. Capitol to protect Wednesday's inauguration of President Biden against threats of violence toward following the January 6th riot. Photos of Guard members sleeping on the marble floors of the Capitol quickly went viral until they later received cots. Then on Thursday came another insult. According to reports, Guard members were abruptly told to take their break time inside a parking garage instead of inside the Capitol. The Guardsmen who had been resting inside the Capitol between 12-hour shifts were moved to a nearby parking garage. Showed members crowded together on the ground, some resting their heads against cement pillars. By Thursday evening, Abbott was among those who had apparently seen enough. I've instructed General Norris to order the return of the Texas National Guard to our state. Now, this is how they treat those. This is what the Democrats think. This is what they think of our soldiers. Democrats would say at least they were out of the elements. No. Jeff says, well, Gates doesn't want to be a Rubio replacement. He said he wouldn't run him against Marco. I don't know. Someone does. We need a conservative to run against Marco. Anybody? Newly released materials shed light on a training session in which Missouri middle school teachers were pressured to endorse certain ideas about race and told them that covert white supremacy included things like color blindness. Handouts linked to Discovery Institute researcher Chris Rufo showed an oppression matrix. An oppression matrix. Let me say it again. An oppression matrix. With an effective hierarchy of social groups along with a handout delineating between various forms of white supremacy. Under covert, the handout listed all lives matter, white silence, claiming reverse racism, calling the police on black people, and treating kids of color as adults. It seems to compare these things to lynching, hate crimes, and burning crosses, which it classified as overt and socially unacceptable forms of white supremacy. Saying all lives matter, having white silence on the issue, claiming reverse racism, calling the police on black people, and treating kids of color as adults is all white supremacy. It's equal to lynching, hate crimes, and burning crosses. That's what they're teaching in your schools. That's why that's what they want to do. That's what they want to teach your kids. And you're paying for that. You pay for that to have your kids indoctrinated and have your kids call you a racist. That's what it's about. Don't you feel good? Do you feel good now? I do. It is a political pawn. It is a political pawn. Oh, here is this is one of those things that they've admitted now that the difference between a riot and a protest is color. That's the difference. That's how they're holding the difference. So the difference between the mostly peaceful protest by BLM and Antifa as they burn down cities and the riot in the Capitol is race. It's race. It's color. Keep that in mind. That's the difference. Twitter's facing a lawsuit from a minor who claims that social media platform refused to remove child porn that featured him and another 13-year-old. The social media platform reviewed the graphic content and didn't find a violation of our policies, according to the lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed on Wednesday in U.S. District Court. The lawsuit seeks to shine light on how Twitter has enabled and profited from child sexual abuse material on its platform, choosing profits over people, money over safety of children, and wealth at the expense of human freedom and dignity. The minor, identified as John Doe, alleges he started communicating on Snapchat with someone who was posing as a 16-year-old female classmate when he was 13. The minor is now 17 and exchanged nude photos with a Snapchat user who the lawsuit deemed to be a sex trafficker. The trafficker then blackmailed the boy and threatened to expose the explicit photos with his parents, coach, pastor, and others unless he provided them with more sexual photos and videos. Twitter responded, "Thanks for reaching out. We reviewed the content and didn't find a violation of our policies." Great. Great. Child porn doesn't violate the policy of Twitter. Twitter promotes child pornography. It facilitates it. Great. Good deal. Fantastic. A liberal immigration activist forced NPR to change a photograph on a news article because it had an inflammatory image of a migrant caravan. Here's that image that first went up. This was the first one. All right. Attorney Aaron Reichlin-Melnick of the American Immigration Council objected to the use of a photograph of a migrant caravan on one of NPR's articles on Thursday. It said, and it begins, NPR uses an inflammatory picture of a caravan that was broken up days ago for a story about deportation moratorium that only applies to those here months ago and a policy reversal that wouldn't have affected almost all of the caravan, even if they made it here, he tweeted. Melnick explained in a further tweet that the caravan was down to approximately 3,200 migrants in one report after starting with 7,000. That's up from 3,000 reported on Tuesday, so the number will keep climbing, he said, of migrants leaving the caravan and returning home to their country. Several hours later, Melnick praised NPR for changing the image. Here we go. So it was this, and we got out of the way. It was that, and it went to this. See the difference? See the difference? It's much less. It's less inflammatory. So they made them and shamed them into changing the picture to something less inflammatory. Now hear this. Others on social media accused NPR of harboring secret Trump supporters pushing an anti-immigrant message. NPR is harboring secret Trump supporters? Really? Really? I would like to know. Let's get real. There are no Trump supporters at NPR. The top Democrat on House Committee on Oversight and Reform has asked the FBI to investigate social media company Parler for its purported role in the January 6th riot and alleged ties to Russia. Of course it's Russia. Committee Chairwoman Carolyn B. Maloney on Thursday sent a letter to FBI Director Christopher Wray requesting a comprehensive investigation of the assault on the Capitol and specifically the role of the social media Parler played in the assault. Maloney wants the FBI to review Parler's finances and alleged ties to Russia after the website partially relaunched, hiring the DDoS Guard, a Russian digital infrastructure company, to defend against denial of service attacks. So it is, I know, Corey, I know. So they want to investigate Parler for its role in the Capitol attack, assault, and ties to Russia. Now, they want that, but why is there not an investigation into why Twitter is promoting child pornography? Anybody on that? Anybody got a clue on that? Interesting, I think. See anything else there? Nope. Okay. I get weary, people. Joe Biden could take a big step toward unity by telling the Senate that taking up the impeachment of former President Donald Trump is not something that's good for the country. That's according to Steve Scalise. We need to turn the page and start focusing on helping hardworking families, Scalise told Fox Business Mornings with Maria. People are struggling. We need our economy to safely reopen, schools to safely reopen, to get people back on track. He said he doesn't think many of Biden's executive orders signed in his first couple of days in office will lead to unity, including reversing the Keystone Pipeline, getting back in the Paris Climate Accord, or stopping the construction of the border wall. Yeah. So his getting rid of the pipeline killed 1,000 jobs like that. In an instant. 1,000 jobs gone. And that's just the beginning. Just the beginning. Investigation. Yeah, I didn't mean to dump you off there, Jennifer. Absolutely. Who's funding Antifa? Why don't they do an investigation on that? Oh, I know. And we're not funded by Russia. I looked at my bank account. Russia's not done anything for me. Just saying. Will Joe Biden extend an olive branch to Republicans? This is Jen Psaki in her press conference. And I want to look at her facial expressions as she talks or as she listens to the questions. Here you go.
A little bit more on that question. Like if there's this call for unity that the president made in his speech yesterday, but there has so far...
If there's a call for unity and the president made in his speech yesterday, and then he starts listing off some of those things.
Even to the Republican Party. You don't have a Republican cabinet member like President Obama and I think President Clinton had. The executive orders that he's come out the gate have been largely designed at erasing as much of the Trump legacy as you can with executive orders, much of which the Republican Party likes and agrees with. You've put forth an immigration bill that has a path to citizenship but doesn't do much of a nod towards the border security, and you've got a $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill that has, as folks have said, already drawn all sorts of criticism. Where is the actual action behind this idea of bipartisanship, and when are we going to see one of those sort of substantial outreaches that says this is something that the Republicans want to do too?
Well, I guess what I would send back to, there was a lot in there, so let me do my best here. But, Mike, is unemployment insurance only an issue that Democrats in the country want? Do only Democrats want their kids to go back to schools? Do only Democrats want vaccines to be distributed across the country? We feel that package, he feels that package is designed for bipartisan support. I will also say that we have also had some positive developments on our confirmations and our nominees. Last night, as you all saw, the president's nominee, now confirmed leader, first female leader of the intelligence community, was confirmed with a vote of 84 to 10. You can check me on that.
You just watched Newsmax TV.
So there is no reaching out across the aisle. That's what they're asking. Where is the fig leaf? So all you've done is erase Trump. You're not holding anything that the Republicans deem to be important to them. Hey, we hear you. We're gonna try to come up with some kind of answer to the border wall or immigration, or the pipeline, or things that are important to Republicans, to Trump supporters. That shows unity. Stuff that you were going to do anyway. Oh yeah, the Republicans could get behind that. That could be bipartisan. They support unemployment, insurance and all that. But that's not reaching across the aisle. You're not going the extra step. That's what unity is. Joe Biden, what are you willing to do for unity? You've called for it. You want people to unify behind you, but what are you doing to bring them in? And not a dang thing. Not a thing. And guess what? It won't change. It won't change. Mercy, people. Anti-government and anti-fascist protesters in Portland, Seattle vandalized the Democratic Party office and other buildings and scuffled with police on Wednesday. People dressed in black and their faces covered broke windows of the glass door at the Democratic Party of the Oregon Business Office in Portland, spray painting an anarchist symbol over the party sign. We don't want Joe Biden. We want revenge for police murders. They don't want justice. No, they want revenge for police murders, imperialist wars, and fascist massacres, read a banner they marched under. The new Democrat president was sworn in on Wednesday, urging unity and restoration after Republican Donald Trump's divisive tenure. Portland has been the scene of unrest for months, with civil rights, anarchists, and anti-fascist protesters scuffling with police and occasionally with right-wing militias and Trump supporters. So, now, where is the call for domestic terrorism? They don't want Biden, so they attacked the Democratic headquarters as well, but they attacked a federal building. They attacked the federal building with ICE. Now, the Capitol riot lasted, 2 hours, 3 hours? It wasn't very long. It wasn't very long at all. It didn't last days, weeks, months. Did it? Nope. And why was that more significant than these idiots? Because it fits their narrative. But they don't want Joe Biden. They don't want Joe Biden. China has imposed sanctions against lying and cheating former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and 27 other top officials under Donald Trump. The 28 ex-officials and immediate family members would be banned from entering mainland China, Hong Kong, or Macau, and companies and institutions associated with them restricted from doing business with China. Who cares? Who cares? They're cesspools. On his first day in office, President Biden disbanded Trump's 1776 commission, aiming to promote patriotic education in schools, which historians mocked as political propaganda. Trump had established the group in September in response to new teaching materials on slavery, calling the education materials a form of child abuse. And Biden did away with those because he's in favor of child abuse. And propaganda, look, they don't want the truth. The Democrats don't want you to know the truth. Nobody wants to go to China. Nobody wants to go to China, Sharon. It's a cesspool. It's where the China virus came from. It's the wet market. Have you ever seen those things? That's where diarrhea comes from as well. Kevin says, I think they'll do soft hits on Biden until they can drive him out of office. When our VP becomes president, they'll stop. Can't handle the truth. That's right. They can't handle the truth. They are ridiculous. They are ridiculous. Okay. Oh, this is weird. President Joe Biden took the oath of office on Wednesday, and he has changed the office, the Oval Office. Carpeting has changed. Artwork. They have. He has removed the military flags that's been on display during Donald Trump's term in office. So there were military flags in the background as well. Usually it's just the United States flag and the presidential seal flag. But Trump had the military flags there. Why? Because he respects the military. Joe Biden had those removed. Joe Biden hates our military. Joe Biden does not support our military. He is anti-military. Now, why do I say that? You can't say that, Nick. You can't say that he hates the military. Why not? They would do that to Trump. They would do that to Trump. If Trump was sitting there and Trump did that, if Obama hated the military, but if Obama had the military flags in the background and Trump came in and moved them, they would have said immediately, Trump hates the military. And Trump hates our military. That's what they said. But Biden is the one that had them removed. There you go. That's how it works, kids. It'll be fine. Nobody will say anything about that. Nothing. He also put in a bust of Cesar Chavez. Does that make you feel better? Who was very anti-immigration. He does support them going back to the Middle East. Yes, he will. You'll see a war come up very soon. There will be a war very soon. And he hates America. He does hate America. Removal of military flags is another example of how the dim royalty loathes the military. Yes. Yep. Indeedy duty. A Georgia congresswoman has introduced a resolution that would ban Donald Trump from the U.S. Capitol after his term ends. Where is this moron? Let me see if I can find it. That's not it. I think this is it. No, that's not it. Where did it go? I know I have it. Maybe. I thought for sure. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull it up here. But yeah, they want to ban him from. They want to ban him from being in the Capitol. That's what they want to do. Now, you tell me how absolutely ridiculous that concept is. Anybody? Is it ridiculous? I think so. I think it's very ridiculous. And they need to make sure that these people do not accomplish what they're after. And I'll explain this in a minute because I do have that video. If I can pull it up here real quick. Sorry for the delay. Thank you for bearing with me. It's been crazy this morning. Okay. So this is, what did I say her name was? Nikema Williams. She represents Georgia's 5th district. She introduced the legislation last week after the riot. All right. So here you go.
Voted, of course, to impeach Donald Trump. Some folks have said that won't help unify the country. What's your reaction to that?
We had an attack on our country. Just as we don't bow down to terrorists abroad, we don't bow down to domestic terrorists. Actions have consequences.
Unless, of course, you're BLM or Antifa. We do bow down to that, but other than that, we don't tolerate it.
To make sure that we are keeping our country safe. And Donald Trump was a danger then, and he's a danger now to not just our democracy, but to our national security. And we need to hold people accountable for their actions.
He's a danger to national security.
Legislation, a bill to bar him from the Capitol for life. Is there a precedent for that?
There is not a precedent for that. However, this is something the United States Congress has rules to govern ourselves, and this is an internal resolution that would allow us to govern ourselves of who we allow in our chambers. Wouldn't be something that the president would need to sign, because it is something that we can use to govern ourselves as members of Congress, as a body who makes rules for ourselves. And so, therefore, I don't want to see Donald Trump, as he said, that this is not over, to rally some group of domestic terrorists to come back into the Capitol following him to finish the job that they started. And so I think that we need to make sure that we're protecting ourselves for whatever is to come.
So what she's doing is she's wanting to bar him from the Capitol. Now, this is a resolution. Now, resolutions are non-binding. All right, just say that. But what she wants to do is keep him. So if he's president, he can't come in the Capitol. So they're trying to keep Trump from running again. They are scared to death. Not of riots. They're not scared of Donald Trump storming the Capitol with his followers. That is what they're saying. That's what they're using. That's not the truth. They're scared of him running again and winning and slaughtering them at the polls, because they don't think that they could pull off another cheat like they just did. Biden's son is a threat to national security. Absolutely he is. You are absolutely correct, Justin. The Congresswoman has a gall to mention national security when Dems' standing policy is to have open borders. You are not wrong, Jeff. But this is how crazy these people have gotten. This is how absolutely out of their minds they have become. And you need to be concerned about them. Woof, man. Absolutely crazy. What else? I got a lot of video here. This is interesting. When President Joe Biden began his term, Disney shut everything down at the Hall of Presidents to install a robotic likeness of Joe Biden. And they couldn't tell the difference. Yeah. The Hall of Presidents was listed as being closed for refurbishment. And now it has Joe Biden in there. Now, how do you put Joe Biden in there at the beginning on day one of his presidency? I'm sure they did for Barack Obama, too. I don't know what they did about Trump. This is the first I've heard about this kind of stuff. I know I've been to the Hall of Presidents, but what do they have him saying? Come on, man. Is that what they have him saying? What is it? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he does. Trump does live rent-free in these guys' heads, and he will for 4 years. He will always be, and he should speak out constantly. Nakima makes Trump sound like a mafia boss. Yeah. And they want you to think of him that way. They want you to think, they want you to think of him as a terrorist leader like Osama bin Laden. That's what they're after. Let me see. Another Northwest Georgia Congresswoman has filed articles of impeachment against Joe Biden. Marjorie Taylor Greene announced the news on Twitter on Thursday. The Congresswoman later released a full statement stating that Biden is unfit to hold the office of the presidency, accusing him of abuse of power during his time as vice president in the Obama White House and accusing him of blatant nepotism with regards to his son, Hunter. It won't go anywhere, but that's what they did to Trump. So good for her. I do this. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, and he's only leader for a little while, is proposing to push back the start of Donald Trump's impeachment by a week or more, but to give the former president time to review the case. House Democrats who voted to impeach Trump last week for inciting the January 6th Capitol riots have signaled they want a quick trial as President Biden begins his term, saying a full reckoning is necessary before the country and the Congress can move on. But McConnell told his fellow GOP senators on a call Thursday that a short delay would give Trump time to prepare and stand up his legal team, ensuring due process. But it wouldn't be due process because Senate cannot try a citizen. Mid-February is what they're looking at. You can't impeach a citizen. Now, if they do this, that means you're fair game as well. CNN anchor Chris Cuomo, look at my time, took a rare swipe at his own network Thursday night. It's now debunked a report about the Biden administration starting from scratch with a coronavirus vaccine rollout plan. Earlier Thursday, CNN raised eyebrows with its purported scoop that quoted unnamed Biden officials alleging there's nothing for us to network or rework. We're going to have to build everything from scratch, as well as the new administration would have to start from square one, since according to CNN, there's simply no plan. During a White House press briefing later in the day, Dr. Anthony Fauci was tapped by the president. During the transition to the White House advisor, he was asked directly by NBC News correspondent Kristen Welker if the new administration was starting from scratch. We certainly are not starting from scratch because there's activity going on in the distribution, Fauci responded before elaborating on the Biden administration's own plan. Here is the Chris Cuomo segment on the other night, last night.
That I don't buy comes out of our reporting. I have two new pieces of reporting. The first one is that people within the administration say they're starting from scratch with a vaccine. No, they're not. You have an infrastructure out there that you're well aware of. It has to be improved. But they shouldn't get any benefit of a low bar here either. You know, there's a lot going on already. Are they going to scrap it or are they going to build on it and make it better?
No, they're not going to scrap it, Chris. They're going to, I mean, I was involved in the development of that stuff there. We're not going to scrap that. There are a lot of good things that happened with the development of the vaccine program. I mean, Operation Warp Speed had a lot of successes. There were some missteps, but a lot of successes there. No, we're going to be building on things. We're not going to be destroying it, putting aside, saying it's useless. We're going to take the good parts and amplify them, make them better, and we're going to go for the goal. And that is to get as many people vaccinated as you possibly can, as expeditiously as you can. That's the goal. We're not going to trash anything.
Mm-hmm. And so there you go. But you heard him say that he didn't like. We're gonna keep some of the good stuff and trash the bad. Now, Fauci said that he felt liberated under Biden administration. I feel liberated. Yeah. Good for them. Good for Fauci. New York Times reporter Michael Schur asked Fauci to share his emotional thoughts about the change of administrations and speaking about the virus going forward. The idea that you can get up there and talk about what you know, what evidence, what the science is, let the science speak. It's somewhat of a liberating feeling, he said. All right. Now, so Fauci is now going to talk science. He didn't talk science under Trump. He feels liberated. So was it science to change your stance 15 times during the coronavirus? Is that Fauci? Is that what science is? And why did you have everybody dismiss the hydroxychloroquine? Why did you have everybody dismiss that without? Because science tries things. That's what science does. Science tries things, tests things, but you wouldn't. You refused, and you had that dismissed. Why? Why is that? Why? Interesting. Just asking. It's just a question I ask. Georgia Democrats have already begun fuming over their two new senators, Reverend Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. You know why? Well, because they ran on the $2,000 stimulus check. Not $2,000 total, but an additional $2,000 on top of the $600 you just received. That's what they ran on. They won because they promised people a $2,000 check. Now, the Georgia Democrats are fuming because they're backing off of that because they said not $600, not $1,400, $2,000. So we don't want additional $1,400. We want $2,000 additional. That's what they ran on. And now they're backing off of that. And they are going with Biden on the 14. And the Democrats in Georgia are angry with them. Warnock, they made it a point to endorse and exclusively say $2,000 checks. A lot of people in the district voted blue in the runoff for two main reasons. Loeffler and Perdue denying us relief during COVID while profiting millions themselves, and two $2,000 checks. Not two checks, but number two, $2,000 checks. So that's why they won. Now, Georgia, that's what you voted for. Now you have to live with it. And they should know. They should know that Democrats never, ever, if it comes to you to benefit you, they're never, ever going to do it. It's never going to be it's never going to be a Monte Cristo sandwich. It's always going to be a crap sandwich. And the only thing they ask you is, would you like salt on that? That's it. That's it. Maybe a pickle, but it's a crap sandwich. Enjoy. Would you like that toasted? That's all the Democrats never, ever do. They say it and promise it every daggone time. You can say what you want to about Trump, but he did what he said he would do. But you have Democrats whose only interest is power, and they will say whatever it is to get it. Now, Joe Biden, I don't know if he promised anything. It was always just weird. He never really answered any questions. There was never any, here's my policies. And I don't know anybody who was in favor of Biden. I never heard any rah Biden. It was all anti-Trump. There was nobody for Biden. Do you understand me? And you don't know what he's going to give you. I think I know. Socialism. All right, we got to get out of here. It's Friday. Be in prayer for our country. Stay strong. Go to church this weekend. If you don't have anywhere to go, I invite you to watch our service on Facebook. You can come to our service. It's Pensacola First Free Will Baptist. I'm going to put a plug in. Come visit with us. And I preach Sunday mornings. The whole service is about 45 minutes. So I encourage you to come. You can catch it on my personal Facebook page, on Pensacola First Free Will Baptist Facebook page. Starts at 10:30. All right. That's my plug. You guys have a fantastic weekend. All right. Relax. Just pray for our city, our area. Pray for our nation, and stay strong. All right, kids. God bless you. Have a fantastic